All right, first of all, let's make sure there's nothing on the build plate. We're going to open it up, look at the build plate, nothing on there, make sure there's any lines or anything that's on the build plate are removed, and check to see what kind of build plate it is. You can see on the left side it's a PEI textured plate, so let's remember that for when we go back into the slicer. And make sure it's replaced back in and centered properly. All right, so now let's check our filament before we go too far. Go over to the AMS unit on top and check the filament. Say we're going to print in blue at this point. So first make sure it's PLA. So look on the side of the spool, make sure it's some form of PLA, and then look on the sides of the spool, make sure no one's labeled that as being personal filament. Makerspace does supply a lot of filament, but there are times where people will have their own filament, and we'd hate for you to print for 3 hours using someone else's. So make All right, here we are in Bambu Slicer. We're going to check on the build plate and the settings for the plate type. You can see the build plate is correct. The plate type is cool plate. We saw by looking earlier that it should be textured PEI, so we select the drop down and change that. And we were using blue filament, so you can actually select the model and hit 4 for slot 4, and it'll change it to blue. And we should be good to go at that point to slice the model. All right, so now we can slice the plate. And when the slicer is done, you will see it'll show you how many minutes or hours or lots of hours it'll take. Be cognizant that you don't really want to run a 24-hour print because we only have one of these printers, so be considerate of others. If you're going to be printing more than around 5-6 hours at a time, consider doing it off hours. Consider doing it during the week, but please try not to tie up the printer on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday area. Since we only have one printer, we'd like to give more opportunities for people to print. If you have a very, very long running printer, please take that into consideration. So thanks for listening. Once again, if you have any questions, reach out to Sal or reach out to Kevin, the 3D print managers. You can also reach out to me. I'm Sean Cromer, and my email address is on the front of the printer if you need help as well. Thank you.